A damp-proofing membrane DPM is a waterproof barrier used in construction to prevent moisture from rising through floors, walls, or foundations, a process known as rising damp or penetrating from external sources like groundwater or rain. It's typically made from durable, impermeable materials like polyethylene, bitumen, or PVC, and is installed during the building process, or as a retrofit to protect structures from water damage, mold, and structural decay. There are two main types: damp-proof course DPC, a horizontal layer, often installed in walls just above ground level to stop moisture rising through capillary action. Damp-proof membrane, DPM, a sheet or liquid, applied layer, commonly used under concrete floors or within walls to block moisture. I am Kelechi Sankris from Samrat Engineering and 29 Solid Construction. And in today's episode, we are talking about damp proofing. Moisture can silently destroy your home, causing mold, rot, and costly repairs. A damp-proofing membrane is a simple, effective solution to keep your property dry and safe. What is a damp-proofing membrane? A damp-proofing membrane is a waterproof sheet or coating that blocks moisture from entering your home. It's typically made from tough materials like polyethylene or bitumen and is installed in floors, walls, or foundations. Why is it needed? Moisture can rise through the ground or seep through walls, leading to rising damp mold growth and structural damage. A DPM acts as a barrier, stopping water in its tracks and protecting your home's longevity. Types of damp-proofing membranes. There are two key types: a damp-proof course, or DPC, used in walls to prevent rising damp, and a damp-proof membrane, or DPM, used under floors or in basements. They can be sheets, liquid coatings, or even cavity drainage systems for severe damp issues. How is it installed? Installation depends on the type. The DPM sheet, usually 1200 gauge polyethylene, or a similar impermeable material, is laid over the blinding layer. It extends up the walls to connect with the damp-proof course, DPC, in the surrounding walls, typically 150 millimeters above ground level, to form a continuous moisture barrier. Care is taken to avoid punctures or creases. Then the oversight concrete, typically 100 to 150 millimeters thick, depending on the building design, is poured directly over the DPM and leveled. The DPM prevents moisture from rising through the concrete slab. In modern construction, insulation materials like a rigid foam boards may be placed over the DPM before the concrete, depending on thermal requirements. For damp-proof course, a layer of fresh mortar is laid on top of the previous course of bricks or blocks, or on the foundation. If starting at the base, this mortar bed provides a level surface for the next course. The DPC material is placed directly onto the fresh mortar bed. The DPC should extend the full width of the wall, including any cavity if it's a cavity wall, and overlap at joints, typically by 100 to 150 millimeters to ensure a continuous barrier. The DPC must be carefully aligned to avoid creases or gaps, as these could allow moisture to penetrate. The second layer of mortar is spread over the DPC to create a new mortar bed. This secures the DPC in place and prepares the surface for the next course of bricks. Retrofits may involve injecting chemical DPCs or applying liquid membranes. DPMs are cost-effective, durable, and prevent costly damp repairs. However, they must be installed correctly with proper overlaps and no punctures to work effectively. Professional installation is often recommended for complex projects. A damp-proofing membrane is your home's first line of defense against moisture. Whether you're building new or retrofitting, consult a professional to ensure your property stays dry. Want to learn more? Check out our resources or contact a damp-proofing expert today. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.